Hello and welcome everyone to my first video on this channel. Also, it's going to be my first video in a series of videos where I aim to teach you how to level with each class in Path of Exile. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Templar, which is actually my favorite class right now. And from there we're going to branch out and teach you every class and a few leveling tips that you can use in your own playthroughs as you work through the campaign. I do want to give you one disclaimer. This is a leveling guide. It's not a build guide, so it's not going to teach you how to, play through that character all the way to max. It will get you through Act 1, and it will actually propel you through Act 2 with a lot of really great tips for each of the respective classes. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the Templar. Okay, and here we are, back on the Twilight Strand. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start the game is pick up your weapon, talk to the dying exile, and then go ahead and kill the hungry corpse that decides to get up and start, gnawing his head off. Okay, so one other really quick tip I'm going to give you guys for starting out is you'll notice that down here we have our default attack selected. We're actually pretty much never going to use that. So we just go ahead and take that and turn it to the move only action. I'll show you again how that works. So the move only action can be added to your mouse just by simply clicking the box and then changing that from the sword to the feet. Okay, and the benefit of that is that when you have the default attack selected, you're going to find yourself accidentally clicking on enemies a lot, and it makes your character just do this terrible thing where he just like magnetizes to the next enemy. So rather than doing that, if we have it a move only, you don't get that happening because you're not actually attacking these enemies. So that's a really good thing to know right off the bat. The other thing is you don't actually want to kill any of the enemies on the Twilight Strand except for Hillock, which is what I'm doing. Hillock's pretty easy to take down. You just keep swinging away with the Glacial Hammer and using your flasks as needed. Next, what you're going to want to do is actually pick up all of the items that Hillock drops, because we're going to be needing those in the next town coming up. What we're going to do is we're going to sell all of them, and that way we can get more of the Wisdom Scrolls, which are extremely important early on in your campaign.
Fate will find.
Okay, so Targlaze here. Now, we're going to be leveling with Purifying Flame on the Templar, so taking this is really important as you go. And also, one thing that's really nice is we got a pair of gloves that actually has 2 blue linked sockets, which is the next thing that we're going to be looking for. We're going to go ahead and sell all of the items that we got from Hillock. That way we get our scroll fragments and our transmutation shards. I'll explain a little bit more what the transmutation shards are for. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to look for movement speed boots, and we want to try and find items that have linked sockets. What we're going to be looking for this build is something with a red and a blue, or a blue and a red, or a blue and a blue. That's fine. We didn't get it this time, and that's perfectly fine. We're just going to go ahead and go to the next area and keep progressing. So the other thing we're going to do is throw on our skill point here, and we're going to switch this over to Purifying Flame instead of Glacial Hammer. Glacial Hammer we can actually just go ahead and remove. You can remove gems from your weapons just simply by right-clicking them and taking them off of that weapon. Now, in order to level quickly, what we're going to want to do is actually ignore most of the enemies rather than killing them. I know it's kind of intuitive when you first start a game, you want to just start attacking things as much as you can, and that's true a little bit in this game, but at the beginning, we just want to start progressing to the next area. Now, if you get a nice grouping of enemies like this is something you might be able to take down, because if you group up more enemies close together, then you'll get a little bit more XP that way quickly. You don't want to kill these, you know, 1 or 2 monsters that show up. You want to kill these big groups of enemies like this. And there's certain things that you want to look out for, by the way, is stuff like these iron rings. You can actually use those later on to craft other rings just using the iron ring and skill gems. And I will show you how that works a little bit later. Okay, as we move up here, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the waypoint, and then we're going to keep on moving. So just like that, we're not going to go back to town yet. I'm going to go ahead and move into the mud flats. Now you can instead go to the coastal area where you can find Hailrig. Killing him will actually get you a Quicksilver Flask, which will help you move quickly. But I have a different strategy for this, actually. Other thing you're going to be looking for as items drop is you want to make sure you're always in the beginning looking for 3 linked items, because that will actually help you do more damage, which will help you level quicker. And like I said, we're just going to go ahead and kill enemies that are grouped up like this. It's actually really nice. You can see that XP bar filling rather quickly when we do that. We might try to group these up. And since I have this nice shrine that we have here, the lightning shrine, we're going to be killing things a little bit quicker than normal. Okay. Now, the next thing we got to do is just get to the end here where we can input all of these glyphs that we just found and open up the area for then the next area. Okay, Fetid Pool is not where we want to go. You press U on your keyboard, it'll open up this little map here. Fetid Pool is going to be this node, and we actually want this one. There it is. Okay, we can go ahead and pop our glyphs into the wall, which is actually going to get us some skills when we go try to kill Hailrig, which is going to happen very, very shortly. We're going to go ahead and just move to the waypoint and quickly just go back to Lion Eyes Watch. When we load in, we're going to go ahead and talk to Targlay and get our Flame Wall. That's going to be the next skill that will help us out. Actually, you know what? We're going to get Holy Flame Totem. My apologies. We also want to go ahead and get Frost Blink. And then, again, we're going to look for those sockets really quick. We want 3 linked sockets, and there we go. That is a red, red, blue. That's actually going to be really useful for us for our Flame Totem. Holy Flame Totem. Other thing we're going to do is look for movement speed boots again, and if we don't get them, but that's okay. We also don't get any other linked sockets, which is not a big deal. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and sell, and we just want to sell everything that we picked up back on the beach.
Farewell.
Or not the beach, sorry. Back when we picked up the mud flats. Okay, pop in our skill points, and again, we're just looking for that damage. What I like to do early on is just pump my damage as much as I can, and that helps me level a little bit faster. Just killing things faster is really, really nice. And I accidentally went to the wrong waypoint. You actually want to go to the coast here on this one. And now we have a Frost Blink, which is nice. A little movement speed's good. So one benefit of doing things in this order is that now, when we get up here to Hailrig, I like to change these around a little bit. When we get up to Hailrig, we actually have 2 skills that we can use instead of 1, which means he'll go down a little bit quicker, and we'll be able to move on to the next area a lot faster as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, the strategy here for Hailrig, is just going to be dropping a Holy Flame Totem and then throwing out Purifying Flame. Purifying Flame is really nice because it drops Consecrated Ground, which actually, when you're standing in the effect, you will get increased life regen, which is going to be a big part of our build later on, if you're going Inquisitor, that is. Okay, now, after Hellrick is done, we're just going to go ahead and pick up a few things, and then we're going to go to exit to character selection, and then spam enter key, and it's just going to get you straight back to the game. You will not have used any portal scrolls if done correctly, and you'll be back at the town ready to go. We're going to go ahead and pick up a Quicksilver, and we're going to go ahead and pick up a Arcane Surge support, which will be useful because what we're going to do is throw this on our Frostblink. So now every time we use our Frostblink, we're going to get a little bit of a buff, which will increase our damage and our mana regen. Still can't use the Scepter yet, but that's totally fine. We should go ahead and just quickly look and see if we can get that Flame Wall next, because we're going to need it for our Holy Flame token. So what you will do, here we go, pick up that Flame Wall, and just throw it on any blue socket that you have. I'm putting it here. I'm not gaining any benefit because these are linked. It's just nice to have for just having those sockets. I did, however, decide to switch my Holy Flame Totem over to this node because these are 3 linked. The reason is because now we have one support gem here called Elemental Proliferation, and it's now going to be supporting both active gems. I will be making another video where I talk about the basics of the game and what an active gem and what a support gem is, something I will be talking about the difference of in that video. Okay, so we're just going to keep on selling things that we have. Now, we picked up an extra small life flask. One reason that this is amazing is because we have these other 2 that you actually start the game with. So if you sell 3 life flasks to a vendor, it will actually pop out a medium flask for you as one of the offers from Tarklay, or any vendor that you're at. So we're going to accept that, and now we're going to put on our Quicksilver on the 3 command, because that's what I like to use. And then we're going to go ahead and sell the rest of these items really quick. Okay, and we can also sell these Armorer's scraps and get Wisdom Scrolls back for them. You can also do that with the Transmutes. However, we might need that here later on coming up. We're going to save this Glacial Hammer. In fact, I will show you something that we can do right now, which is we can sell this Iron Ring that we picked up and any red gem, and in return we'll get a ruby ring. This will be nice for later when we need to upgrade our weapons, and I will show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, so now we've got our ruby ring.
Stay sharp.
We've got no movement speed boots yet, and we're still looking for those sockets. But we're off to a great start. Well, here we are. Well, that wraps it up for the first part of the leveling guide for the Templar. If you're enjoying yourself, please consider subscribing. We're just getting started out on this YouTube channel, and those people who are subscribing are going to really help us improve and move forward with more content for the channel. Also consider following my Twitch stream. That was actually where I got started out, and now I'm just trying to, get my name out there a little bit more. So I hope this guide helped you, and if it did in any way, please check out the next guide as well. All right, until next time, I'll see you in the next video.